Hello, welcome back to GrandOldTeam TV. This is the second part to our exclusive interview with Jamie Carragher. The first part is probably in this section on the bar or this section wherever, or maybe it's in the description underneath. Anyway, there's a first part to this interview. This is the second part. This is more of a derby preview specific one. So make sure you go and watch that before, and also make sure you subscribe to GrandOldTeam TV. Obviously, we really appreciate that. I'm going to stop telling you what to do now. Let's go and see what Jamie had to say for the second part of the interview. So obviously we're back here now. This is the second part to our two-segment interview with Mr. Carragher here in this new stand, which when I came in, the woman downstairs in the reception was like, "Yeah, we can see your little place from here," which I was like, "That's a good start to me, my Anfield experience." But anyway, without any further ado, obviously we got together some presents for you, Jamie,
okay,
because we appreciate you coming on and doing this.
Yeah.
And so we've got a few things. So first of all, there's your GrandOldTeam mug.
Okay.
Which is quite smart, that is.
I'll give that to me. I'll have one cup of tea out of it. That'll do.
Is your old fella still an Evertonian?
Oh, not my old fella. My father-in-law's a season ticket holder.
Right, okay, there you go then. So
yeah, he's in the Park End, so he can have that.
Good. And then also, this is quite sweet, I think. That's
sweet from Everton.
That's nice, isn't it? You can cradle that when we beat you at Anfield in a few weeks. So that's quite nice.
Where's the Everton? Oh, a little Everton badge at the back.
On there.
Yeah,
little Changi, I think it is.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then
okay, that'll go one of the kids on Marsh Lane, Evertonians.
It's more personal to you, to be honest.
It's an Andy Johnson picture, isn't it?
No, absolutely. More creative than that, Jamie. Look, there's a little keyring of Jamie Redknapp interrupting you on Sky, mate. Do you want to I'll just put that to the camera. There you go. So they are. That's a nice one. You can have that in your keyring.
Yeah. Oh, it's going there.
And then finally, this one is from all Evertonians, and we want you to pass this on to Stephen for us. So if you can,
that's a little bit harsh now.
If you can't, look, mate. Look, I have to follow orders, mate. You know what I mean? I'm not.
I'm not even showing you what it is. I'm sure you know what it is.
Let's turn it around. There you go. So that's you can pass that on to Stephen for us.
Well, I'm not going to pass it on to Stephen, am I?
If you don't want it, I'll keep it and I'll put it on the.
Well, I think you best keep it, hadn't it? Go on.
Step too far, that one.
A little bit.
Sorry, mate.
Come on.
Right, okay. No,
we'll start bringing 22 years into it and all. I was trying to be nice about Everton.
You were, mate. You were. That was a low blow. You got me into trouble there, lads. All right. So the derby coming up then, mate. Do you think Liverpool fans are getting a little bit concerned now that Everton are getting their house in order? Jamie, new grounds potentially, new manager, new owner.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, why not? There's a massive rivalry there. When it gets close, you never want Everton to finish above Liverpool. I think I mentioned that a few weeks ago, but it is looking. I think you've got a top manager in Ronald Koeman. I think Snyder's a great signing. I really do like him. I'd have loved him at Liverpool a couple of years ago when he was going to United.
Do you think he could have gone somewhere
better than Everton
with Champions League football? Because I said to my mate, I think he could have gone to like a top 4 club.
No, I mean, as soon as Koeman come in, I always think when a manager goes into club what he should do. Not just Everton, but my first thought was he signed Snyder. Obviously, because Gareth Barry was getting to that age, I thought he's not playing at United.
And the Southampton connection.
And I thought, that'd be a great buy.
Yeah.
Get him. I think he's superb. I think he's a great signing. I think Ross is looking like the player we look. Tom Davis coming through. Lukaku situation now. You've got one of the best strikers in the league. You need a goalkeeper desperately.
You think? I mean,
you think you don't?
Well, I think that Joe Robbs has done a decent job.
He's done all right. He's not good enough for Everton.
You don't think?
You think you get top 4 with him?
I think.
No chance.
I think he's done.
He should have got that Harry Kane first goal.
I was going to blame Garner and Barrymore for that.
But
let him in, but
no, he's not good enough.
I think he's done really well. I thought if he can maintain this.
Well, listen, if you want to keep him as your keeper, I'll be delighted.
Maybe we need to bring someone else to put a little bit more pressure in on him.
You need a centre back.
Okay.
And you need a goalkeeper. Desperately.
All right, fair enough. No, I still think we potentially need to sign another goalkeeper. I just don't think it's as pressing as it maybe was earlier on in the season. But no,
what was the question again? We went off.
We just saying Liverpool fans getting a little bit concerned that Everton are getting things together because you've had a free run for a while now.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But yeah, of course. And I think the problem for Everton is you'll probably finish, I don't know, 6th or 7th this season, or I hope it's 7th because it's not above us, and we finish in 7th. But
I don't think we'll get higher than 7th.
Yeah, we'll see. But you've got some tough games, haven't you? I've looked at the fixture list. That shows how worried I was at one stage. But
we've just got to come here as well.
I'm just trying to think now. It's getting into. It's so difficult to get into that top 4. I mean, Liverpool have been in it once in 7 years, and we spend massive money, a lot more than Everton. And this thing about the owner bringing money in, I don't know what the rules are. This. You know,
financial fair stuff.
So I don't know if you can do it. I don't think he's got Abramovich money or the Man City fella's money, but I don't know if the days are gone where you can just go and do whatever you want. I don't know, because you think about Everton in the summer, they didn't spend that much money. They got the Stones money in, spent that, but they didn't spend that much. I think it's more about the stadium, getting the stadium so then you bring more revenue in, and then you can maybe go on. So I think it might be a longer term project with the owner, but of course he's got money now to get players maybe you couldn't have got before, but you're going to get players that to go to Everton that wouldn't have gone to a top 4 club. I think it's not easy. It's difficult. That.
What's it like to play in a derby, mate?
I love it.
Yeah.
I could play them every week.
Really?
Love them.
Does it not take it out of you though? Like in the sense that they're so physical, but also emotionally for you as well. Being a Scouser, you know, you've got the connection with Everton. You've got obviously a strong connection with Liverpool. It must have been like a bit. How'd you prepare? Like?
No, I'd be preparing the whole week before. Get myself into a frenzy, sort of, you know. Well, you get that hatred. You know, you're thinking who you can snap. Who's going to get it? Who said something to wind you up? I love playing at Goodison. To be honest, the derbies at Anfield, I wouldn't say it felt like another game. It wasn't another game, but you're always very confident we'd win. Yeah. Whereas Goodison always made it a leveller. You know, you're being at home, the crowd, and it always felt better to win there. And our record there was unbelievable. Yeah. For, you know, and that's one of the things I'm proud of. People say about, you know, winning trophies, but turning that Everton Liverpool record round. When I first got in the team, it was the Dogs of War of. I just missed that, but it was Liverpool never winning derbies, getting bullied. And
because the 90s, ironically, which was our lowest period, we performed, especially
I remember Joe Royle never.
You were talking about that.
Joe Royle never lost a derby game. No. In 3 or 4 years, so it was. And I was an Evertonian at the time, so you always felt confident, and there's nothing worse than getting bullied in a football game by your own rivals. So that's one of the things I'm proud of. I think me and Stevie being in the team that sort of 10, 12 years. Yeah. We not so much bullied you in football in terms of results. Yeah. In that we got a lot of results, but you know, winning at Goodison was big. But I still remember the defeats there. The Andy Johnson one, the Lee Carsley one. Are we getting to that?
No. I wasn't going to bring it up, mate. You brought it up, honestly.
No. I mean, that's probably one of the lowest I've ever felt after a game of football, because I wasn't fit. I'm not getting excuses in, by the way, but I'd been out for a few weeks and I was so desperate to play in the derby. I had to play, and I didn't know till 2 hours before I was playing. Rafa always kept the team close to his chest, and we had a European game in PSV on the Tuesday. I think this was the Saturday morning. So afterwards we had to go for a meal to make sure we had the right stuff and all that. I just got beat by Everton 3-0, and it was in Beacon Plaza, right by the Liverbirds. I remember just sitting there looking at my food just in a daze. I was that embarrassed how it performed. And the next one wasn't for 6 months. And it was just everywhere I went in town, people would say to me, Andy Johnson. Yeah. Everywhere I went. But I was just that wound up for 6 months about the next derby. And we played it was 0-0. It was a good result for Everton, I suppose. But I remember just going like that to Andy Johnson in the first 10 minutes. And I played, I played quite well, but I remember just thinking I was just that wound. I remember running with the ball and he was chasing behind, I just went bang, I just had to. But no, you could, I was in the gutter that night, don't worry about that. But listen, I can't complain. I think I lost 3 or 4 derbies.
Yeah, you've had your fair share, Jamie, mate, you've had your fair share.
You've done all right.
You've got to give us 1 or 2, hey. So, who's the best player and the worst player you've played against in the derby? First of all, we'll start with the best.
Everton's best player when I was playing.
Like mustard, like.
I'd probably say Carra was your best player. I think in Premier League era when we were playing him, he was a handful. I think he got a few goals against. He was good in the air. He's a really good player for that. I think he was. You could argue he was probably Everton's best player in the Premier League era. I'd say. I think he was. I don't know if there's someone I've missed.
A shout, definitely.
Yeah, him. I think Jagielka has been a great player for us over the years. Big Duncan, when I first got in the team, there's no doubt there was a fear I was only a kid coming through, and everyone was. And my first derby game was against Duncan Ferguson. I played centre back, and he scored. Partington scored late on. Might have been 97, 98. But I don't know. Basically, I put myself about.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you another story about Duncan.
I'm sure they'll love to hear this, mate. Yeah.
This one was at Goodison. So it must have been the following season. So we didn't have anyone to cope with him physically. I was only a kid, I was only 19, 20. So it was Roy Evans and Hourier, joint manager. So Roy Evans said, "You're Mark and Ferguson." But because he was that big, and I'm not the biggest to be honest, we had Michael Owen. So he used to play standing, this is on set pieces. So I had Mark from behind and Michael Owen would get in front. So Michael Owen is obviously looking at the ball but keeping an eye on Ferguson. So he's looking at the both of us like that. So he can't run, Duncan, he can't run forward, he can't run back because we're behind him. And he just looked at me and Michael Owen turned around and Duncan just went bang and just hit me straight in the mouth. And I was just like that, and then the cross come in. Nothing happened. And I just remember the game goes on. I remember Michael Owen coming in at half time. "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I just smashed him with the elbow. I was like, "Yeah, I'm alright." And I was like, "Welcome to Big Dom."
Oh, that's brilliant. What about the worst one? Can you say, or someone who had a really bad performance? Or, I mean, fair enough. If you
no, I wouldn't say that about an Everton or some other way. I always get that asked Q&As about a Liverpool player. I'd never say that about someone.
No, I get that. I just wondered if anybody that you were like, "God, I feel sorry for them. They had a really bad."
Oh, you mean actually in the derby game?
Yeah, not necessarily. Because I know that you're not going to do it. A fellow professional say he was
Yeah, just trying to think now.
Phil
Neville had one at Anfield, didn't he? He scored the own goal from the corner.
Oh yeah,
that was a killer because we only had 10 men. Let's Kane the Nevilles. Let's go Phil Neville. Yeah. and he got sent off in one, didn't he?
I was just thinking of that one. Yeah, that's what I was thinking when it was. I think Count scored the winner. I think
the penalty,
because he knocked it off the line.
Yeah, the Clattenburg one.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, the Clattenburg one, that one. Anyway, let's definitely not talk about that, Jamie. So, I just want to just quickly talk about just the derby and the impact it has on the city. Now, obviously, you being a local lad, what does it say about Everton and Liverpool as two sides that, although there is that rivalry in football terms, they come together for the '96 stuff. I mean, Everton, I think, have been really supportive.
Yeah, superb.
What is it about Liverpool, mate? Because I think it's really unique. What's your general thoughts on that?
I think the people are just down to earth people. I think if anything happens in Liverpool, is that community spirit of everyone getting together. You think of also the Reece Jones thing. I know it wasn't to do with football, but they were big Evertonians, and the whole city comes together for it and support each other. And yet with football, it's serious. Sometimes it goes over the top, but you want football to be serious. You want people to get passionate about it. And Liverpool people are gritty, passionate, aggressive people, and the passion for football is the biggest passion we have in the city, and it's probably what the city's known for, along with obviously the music, the Beatles, I suppose. But that's a big part of what it's about. But I think derby games now, and probably even with social media and the fact that football is on the TV, Sky Sports News, you can never get away from. I think that probably doesn't help in terms of the bitterness or arguing or fighting, or you see stuff on social media between fans groups or whatever it may be. It didn't feel like that when I was a kid. I just think football's just in your face now, 24/7. I just think it probably stirs the emotions even more.
I even think it's changed from in my time. So my first derby was the Carragher one at Goodison when we won 2-0.
I got injured
for that because you still were
when I was playing, I got injured 3 days before. I was absolutely devastated.
Oh, 97, yeah.
Played Michael Thomas in midfield. I was supposed to play. Away at Goodison, midfield. Goodison. Oh, that'd be a dream, that, wouldn't it? Kicking everything that moves.
Well, and so I've noticed a bit of a change even from then. Now I think there is more of a separation between the two clubs, but there still is that kind of mutual understanding and that mutual respect. I just think it's kind of nice, and I just wanted your general thoughts on that. But okay, finally then, obviously we've got the derby coming up. I don't want to keep you for too much longer, Jamie. So what's your score prediction, mate, for this one? How do you think it'll go? Are you a little bit concerned that Everton might finally win at Anfield? The last time we did it was 1999, Kevin Campbell.
Yeah.
I know, Craig David was still knocking out tunes. Now, to be fair, now, right? But so it's been a while, mate. Do you think this could be the game?
Well, why not? Everton are flying, doing really well. I think they've got a good side. I think you've seen other teams come here this season and win. Wolves come here and win the FA Cup. You think, why can't Everton win? But to be honest, I think a big thing for Koeman, he's got to change the mentality of the club and the players, even the supporters, in terms of derby games, because, without being disrespectful, Ronald Koeman's not going to win the league with Everton. It's not. You know what I mean? It's very, very difficult. So he might win an FA Cup, he might win the Carling Cup, and if he's here for 3 or 4 years, he might win one of those trophies. So if he could win one of those trophies, but also have a really good derby record, similar to like the job Joe Royle done. You know, he won the FA Cup, won derby games. So a big thing for Everton, man, is doing well in derby games. It is a big thing, and I think Everton go into derby games expecting to lose, but I think the players do.
I think it feeds into the players.
And I think they always feel there's that, we can't beat Liverpool because the referee will give them something, or there's always that sort of negative mentality going into the game. I think there is that. Now people may say, that referee did this or that. You can always point at different things, but you go into it thinking like that. And I think of the Moyes era of you beating United at home, Chelsea at home all the time, but you never beat us, and they were better than us. So I think this is a mentality thing, and just a little thing. When you shake hands before the game, I'd be like a lunatic, steam coming out your eyes, wanted to, and your players would be saying hello, hi Carra, and I'd be reckon, the game's kicking off in a minute. I'd be wanting to, why are you even saying my name? Why are you even speaking to me? I wasn't saying, alright Ozzy, alright, Hibbo, alright, Leighton.
Did you get it off them lads as well? Like, the local lads for us?
Yeah, and I was like, you already sort of thought you had the advantage.
Yeah.
It's like a boxer who comes out and he always wants to shake hands with the other boxer. You're like, no, I want to punch him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I always felt they were never as aggressive or wanted to, as nasty as us in the nicest possible way about winning those games. I always felt we had the advantage mentally and physically in those games. That was just something, I don't know, maybe there's nothing in it, but I used to just think it was strange.
That has definitely got to change. That's really intriguing that you said that. I just thought it was maybe, well, you expect that some of it's obviously slips into the mindset of the players, but mainly it was a supporter thing where we just thought, oh God, we're going to Anfield. But the fact that you say, that
I'm not just talking Anfield, I'm talking at Goodison as well. Yeah.
Strange. Anyway, Jamie, mate, I really appreciate it. Obviously, thank you for coming on to GrandOldTeam TV, and well, thank you.
Okay, cheers boys.